come on out. Come on out. Craig, come the fuck on out. You came through with this goddamn book. Let me tell y'all something. I ain't read no damn book in I don't know how long, but somehow Craig turned a ratchet bitch into a reader, bitch. Damn, my tongue real slippery. Bitch can't even talk, but bitch, I can read. Come on out. Anyway, by the time I got done with this damn book, bitch, I felt like I need to go sit on my back porch and smoke me a long cigarette while wearing a old nasty Caucasian damn witness protection wig, bitch. When I tell you he dropping 10 here, he talk about Tyler Perry, Brandy, bitch. Oh, girl, this book had my coochie on hard, had my coochie lips on blue, had me hot and moist like a KFC biscuit, bitch. Oh, Jesus, girl. By the time I got done, y'all, I felt like a boss, bitch. You made me want to go out and do things with my goddamn life, bitch. He talk about damn heartbreak, everything, girl. Come on now. I was on an emotional roller coaster, Craig. Come on out. Jesus.
One of the best parts of life is when you can admit the truth to yourself about yourself. Cyberspace is a world where one can become something he isn't, but everything he dares to be. I wasn't interested in getting attached to anyone, and I knew I wouldn't take anyone I met online seriously. I had multiple screen names to increase my chances of meeting someone attractive. The majority of the profiles noted HIV negative under status, but I knew better from the work I had done in the HIV community. I knew 1 out of 3 black gay men was positive. The messages I found in my inbox validated me in my depression. In some strange way, they reinforced that I was worthy and deserving. My days consisted of waking up and logging on to see how many messages had accrued overnight. Months passed before I got honest with my therapist about what was happening with me. And before I knew it, I heard myself say, I've been having sex with people I meet online. To listen to more of Words Never Spoken, a memoir, visit audible.com. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts, in my voice, on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Now, So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow. So go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. And turn on that little bell so that you get a notification every single time that I go live or I upload something new. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. What's up, Mantra? Hey, Keeney. Hey, Miss Ann. I saw your name in there as well. Who else is in here? Diane Harris, Nita G. Who is that? Tamia Harris, Kia Raquel, Queen Beverly, Mimi Parker, Shelly, Daryl said, finally caught alive, Daryl Howard, D Baby, Vicky Carr. All right, yes, I'm in my pajamas. Hey, Golden, because I had already taken a nap. Hey, Elisa Brown, Philandis Neor, Hairstylist 98, Monquetta, MJ, LS, Shawana, Lakeisha, hey, Keisha, Kawana, Tierra Sardine, Gwen Johnson, Drea, maybe, Melissa, Gail, Mia Lee, Carmen O, Monique, hey girl, hey boy, hey. It ain't number of women in here, Marquita. Oh no, I did name one guy. Selena, hey Selena. Hey Butler Keys or Keys Butler. Kevy Kev, Tia. Hey girl, hey boy, hey. Stacy Michelle. Who was that up there? Talia, King, K-N-G, I guess that's what that is. Dre, the pretty introvert. Or Dree, the pretty introvert, maybe. Y'all know y'all can come up with some screen names, amen? Hey girl, hey. What's up, MTS? Tanny Joy, Latoya Johnson, Dion Lee. Hey, Dion Lee. Listen, good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I think I said that. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart. This is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So listen, we are going to be doing our restaurant reviews tonight. And we're going to be talking about Baltimore crab and seafood, but do not mistake, they are located here in Atlanta. Well, not technically Atlanta. They're in Fairburn, Georgia. That's outside of the city. You know, it's like when people move to Atlanta, but they don't really move to Atlanta, they move to Georgia. And they live outside of the city limits, but they tell everybody else that they live in Atlanta, but they'll live in like Fairburn, Lithia Springs, Macon, Kennesaw. And they be like, oh my God, it's so boring in Atlanta. Well, you don't live in Atlanta, niece. You live in the outskirts. But listen, I had a nap, so that's why I got my pajamas on. I had a long day today. Anyway, went to the gym, did all of the things. But I wanted to tell you guys on June 28th, that's in 20 days, we're going to do a giveaway. Those of you who are new here, you may not know what I'm even talking about. But traditionally and historically, over here at the Pen Pal residence or headquarters, we do a giveaway. We do a giveaway because, you know, God and the universe will bless a cheerful giver. Amen. We believe in giving. You know, it's like recycling. Amen. Recycling. When you put what you put into the earth, it comes back to you. What you put into the world, it comes back to you. Amen. So we're going to do a giveaway. So for those of you who may be brand new, I'm looking over here because I'm steaming some mussels. Not these kind of mussels, the kind you eat. I know some of y'all a little slow, but it's okay. I'm gonna work with you. But we usually do a giveaway over here. Let me get a little something for my lips. This is that tinted shit that I didn't know that it was tinted when I bought it. So I'm just gonna put a very small, just enough to kind of, oh, I need to put some white wine in there. I just thought about it. I need to put some white wine in my mussels. Let me just do a slight little, because I don't really want to color my lips, amen? You just kind of dab it a little bit. I don't want y'all to think that I'm about to start cross-dressing. Just because I'm friends with Madison don't mean I'm trying to become a woman, amen? Amen. All gay men are not interested in becoming women. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. I was looking for this one. This is the one they gave me on Delta. They gave me this on the plane. This is the one I was looking for. But anyway, we're going to do a giveaway on June 28th. That's a Saturday. And for those of you who are new, they're just percolating over there. Hold on, let me get over here. Of course, they want to start getting it together once I'm coming over here to talk to y'all. Come on, muscles. Oh, bitch. Okay, then look, these are the ones that are in the bag. You know, I got these from Aldi's. So I'm cheating, okay? These ain't the ones that, you steam them in the bag. Now, sometimes you can really just put them in the microwave. But I really try not to use the microwave a whole lot. You know, because all those dangerous, that radiation and carrying on. So I try not to do that. Let me get a top for this pot. Because I think that we can kind of steam them down a little bit more. Yes, come on, God. Come on, God. But anyway, so here's the thing. We traditionally do a giveaway. I did do one last year, but I think it was earlier in the year because my mom was here and she helped. But I didn't do one. We usually do one twice a year. We usually do them twice a year. And we were going to do one in the fall. I wanted to do one in the fall, but remember, my mom passed in October, so I didn't do one. And now here it is June, right? So 1 year, for those of you who are brand new, we set up an assembly line right here on this table, and it went from here all the way over there to the dining room table. And we had an assembly line, and we were putting things in bags because we had gotten like 300 little small backpacks. And inside we put chapstick in it because, it was wintertime. And, like if you were homeless, niece, you would want a little something to grease your lips with too. Amen. That cold winter air, that hawk out there. You want a little something to slide on your lips because, you get the smiling and stuff. And you talking about, hi, I'm homeless. I would work for food, and you're trying to smile and shit, and your lips bleeding and shit because they cracking. So we wanted to give the people something to put on their lips. Amen. So we had a little chapstick in there. We had outdoor blankets. The little outdoor blankets are like these little fold up type things. We put those in there. We put like some little cheese and crackers in there. We put the little applesauce cups in there. We put it was some other snacks in there too. Now see, I was gonna try not to say this. I knew it was gonna be a messy somebody who was gonna bring this up. Let me come to the pins in a second, Crystal Robinson. But I like you for doing that. I appreciate you for doing it. Because see, I really wanted to go there too, but I was trying not to say it. But I'm gonna say it now. So we also had in there, we had what else did we put in there, y'all? Because y'all helped too. You all helped. Me, Elliot, Jack, my mom, and whoever else was here, we all bought things. We took our own money. Oh, yes, thank you, K&G. We had hand warmers, like they're like little things you put in your gloves, or you put them in your socks, and they stay warm for like 15 minutes or whatever. We put those things in there. We had a bunch of stuff. We had 300 backpacks, and we filled all of them. And we put feminine products in there, like little tampons, not tampons, the pads. Not the tampons, it was pads. A bunch of stuff, right? Towels, little washcloths, socks. We did a bunch of stuff, right? And we went downtown Atlanta, and we gave them out. Someone has sent pens. Pens that you write with. Yeah, we gave away clothes and sneakers, yes. And so when the pens came, first of all, when the pens came, I was just, because we had let you all know in advance that we were going to do 300 backpacks. And so you all sent stuff either to my P.O. box, or some of you may have Cash App or Zelle, so that we could buy more stuff. And then, like I said, me, Elliot, and whoever else was helping, we all chipped in and put our own money in, and we went out and bought stuff. We had fruit cups. We had all kinds of shit in those things. And so someone sent 300 pens. Yes, and my Aunt Gloria was there regulating the shoes and shit. Niece, listen. So anyway, it's a fool. You got to see that on Patreon, because she down there about to argue with these people, her and Elliot, because they got to be in charge. So anyway, someone sent 300 pens, and I was just like, and I must have said it on either the live or I said it on the Patreon. I said, well, what are we going to do with these 300 pens? I'm not really sure. And I wasn't even trying to be funny. I said, what are we supposed to do with these pens? And the person who sent, I know she's going to probably see this. And the person, hey, girl, hey. And the person who sent this, she sent me a scathing email. She sent me a scathing email. Yes, niece, Mimi. She sent the pens to my house, right here to my house. And I was like, niece, I don't know what kind of time you want, but don't ever do that again, because you might get shot, okay? Please don't send nothing to my house. That's why I got a P.O. box. In fact, let me put that down here at the bottom. Don't send nothing to my house. You put it over here, because that's kind of creepy. And I said that to her in her email when I responded back. I said I wasn't trying to be funny when I asked what was the purpose of these pens. I didn't know how a homeless person could benefit from having a pen. What they writing? A new sign? I mean, maybe. So she sent the pens to my house, and I was just like, girl, don't do that no more. That made me nervous. That made me uneasy. Plus, I had already had that gun too. So anyway, she sent me this scathing email. I responded, because she sent the email, so I responded back and I said, hey, I wasn't trying to be funny. I really just didn't know what the hell we were supposed to do with these pens. And I said, and in the future, would you please just follow the instruction and send the stuff to the P.O. box like everyone else? You ain't got to let me know that you can figure out my address. She said to me that the pens were so that, she said, a lot of times homeless people they're transitory. They're moving from place to place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be packing up all your stuff and you're moving from homeless shelter to homeless shelter, or you may just be moving on the streets, right? And so she said they would use the pens to write their names on their belongings. And I hadn't thought of that. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's a real thing. Maybe that's something that homeless people, I can't see them necessarily holding on to no pen. Well, let me save my ink pen and put it right here. Let me hold it. But I don't know. So anyway, so listen, if you want to participate in our giveaway, you are welcome to do that. My P.O. box is right down here. Like if you want to send, this time we're only doing 100 backpacks. Let me say that. We're just going to do 100 backpacks. So if you want to send something to my P.O. box, you're welcome to do that. There it is right there. I just ask that whatever you send, make sure that it's 100 of them because we're going to put one in each of the bags. So let's just say you want to do chapstick. You can do that because I'm sure they don't still have that chapstick from before. They probably need a new chapstick. Amen. If you want to do a feminine product, you can. It's not always necessarily 100 women because it's men and women that we, see out there. But whatever you decide, I mean, you might want to do cheese and crackers. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Or you can send something to the Cash App. But wait, if you send something to my Cash App or Zelle, just put in there homeless giveaway. Because if you send it and it ain't got no label on it, niece, that's for me. Look, if you send it and it ain't got no label, that's for me. I'm going to assume you meant that to be for me. Who was this said this is my first live? Hey, girl, hey. Who is that? Where did it go? Wait, what? Golden no locks? Wait, what is that? How do you pronounce that? Is it golden no locks? Is that right? Golden no locks. Welcome, niece. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, girl, hey. So listen, so I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. So again, that's going to be June 28th. So it's now June 8th. So you got a couple weeks to send the stuff to the P.O. box if you want to do that. Excuse me. Or, like I said, you can send something to the Zelle or to my Cash App. Those are both listed right there too. Okay. All right, now let me turn off these muscles. Oh, I already turned them off. Now we're gonna get into our restaurant reviews. Okay. This restaurant is called. I do not have an waist trainer. Whoever that is down there. I got on my pajamas. That's it. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said, I'm a case manager. Hold on. I'm a case manager for one of the biggest homeless shelters in Texas. You'd be surprised at the shit they want and need. Well, give us a list of stuff, please. And then I can, if you want to type some things down here in the comments, and then that way it may give some people some ideas if they want to send something to the P.O. box, right? Or it may give me and Elliot some ideas of what we're going to do, for the 28th, on the 28th. All right. All right. So this restaurant is called Baltimore Crab and Seafood. But again, they are not in Baltimore. They are here in Georgia, not Atlanta. They're in Georgia. They're in Fairburn. Now, we only read the 1 stars over here. We only read the 1 stars. We don't care about the good reviews. We want to know what we may be in store for if we should dine at this restaurant. And we need to be able to make an educated, informed decision whether or not we're going to go to this restaurant. Okay? Here's the first one. I ordered a lobster pasta and seafood basket with red potatoes to go an hour before they closed. The food was not bad at all. Once I got home, I noticed I didn't get my side for my crab basket. I called the store and told them, and they asked if I wanted to come back to pick it up. And I told them no, because I was already home, comfortable and ready to eat. They told me I can come back another day. When I went back 2 days later, they literally just gave me a side of potatoes. I asked the manager, what am I supposed to do with that? You know where they're going with this? They thought that they were supposed to get a whole new meal for free. They were missing the side of potatoes. When they went into the place, they gave them the side of potatoes. And whoever this is, Tweak, says, what am I supposed to do with this? So you thought you were gonna get a whole new meal for free? Now I can understand them saying, we'll give you, we'll give you your potatoes or whatever, and we'll give you maybe a complimentary appetizer or something, or maybe a discount on the next meal, like 25% off or 30%, whatever, off the next meal. But you thought you were gonna get a whole meal? I know that's where you're going. I asked the manager, what am I supposed to do with that? If I known I was just going to be given potatoes, I would have just disputed the charge with my bank. Now, sir, ma'am, how are you going to dispute the entire bill because they neglected to put your potatoes in? So you were gonna dispute the entire $70? Is that what I hear you saying? Now, like Ashley just said in the comments, you could have stopped at the Popeyes. I ad-libbed Popeyes. You could have stopped at the Popeyes. You could have got you a piece of chicken, or you could have gone down to the Piccadilly, got you a little piece of chicken or a piece of fish or something, and put with those potatoes. Right, Tamia, they ate the rest of the food, so you were going to dispute the entire... See, this is why the universe can't bless some of y'all. This one, because see, you just needed to be made whole. You didn't need to be completely reimbursed for the entire meal because you ate the rest of the stuff. You just needed to be made whole. You ate the meal. And see, this is why the universe has a hard time trying to bless, because you thought you were going to go in there and eat for free. So then he or she says, I paid $70 for a to-go order just to get treated like that after not fully receiving the services that I paid for. I was really hoping to like this place, and the service just failed me terribly. They never have to worry about seeing my face inside that establishment again. Y'all want to see the potatoes? They're the potatoes. All right, Mr. Smart Guy, 1 star. Public service announcement. Did you know that many dishes at this restaurant are actually prepared off-site and then transported to the location? This includes most dishes except for fried and grilled foods. You might assume that given the high prices, the prep cooks would be preparing the food on site. But even the turkey wings are pre-cooked off-site, then brought to the restaurant. When the turkey wings run low, they're simply heated in a small oven and served as fresh turkey wings. So you think when you go to Red Lobster that stuff is fresh? You think that when you go to the Red Lobster or to the Olive Garden that stuff is fresh? You think, because there's no ocean around Georgia, not around Atlanta. There's no water for 4 hours, and that's Savannah. So you really think that he thought he was really doing something with this. You know that, right? He really thought. I just saw a little spider niece. I had to get that. You really thought you were doing something. So he says, it's a reminder that you never truly know what's going on behind the kitchen doors or how your food is being prepared. See, this is what I mean when I say that sometimes we're really hard on Black-owned businesses. This is an example of what I mean. This is really not a legitimate negative review, and neither was the first one. The first one wasn't really a legitimate, in my opinion. Now, I do think that they could have handled things differently. Like I said, if they left off their side, then yes, they should have offered to make them whole by, oh, we're sorry about that. They did say if you want to come back and get it. But no, I get that too, because once I'm home, I don't want to come back out. And I'm pissed. I'm already hungry. But my thing is, what they could have said, like I said before, was we'll give you a percentage off on your next bill, on your next time you come in. We'll do that for you. But to think that your whole $70 bill was supposed to be comp, that's crazy. And then for this person to say, talking about, and his name got the nerve to be Mr. Smart Guy, not really smart if you think that all of the food is supposed to be fresh. Like that stuff at Red Lobster and Old Olive Garden and Chipotle and all these other places, that shit is not fresh in there. That shit's been in the freezer for somewhere else and then transported in a truck and then brought. So anyway, it's a reminder that you never truly know what's going on behind the kitchen doors or how your food is being prepared. Some may not mind, but for those who do, it's important to be aware of how some restaurants operate. Then, sorry, you need to stay at home. You should not eat out. Also, you would think the servers would be giving you fresh water, right? Think again. They go right behind the bar in those fancy silver pitchers of water you get water from. Instead of them filling it up from the purified water, the servers go behind the bar and use the faucet water. The sink where there be dirty cups and old fruit where the bartender dumps out finished drinks. So now y'all only drink purified water now? Y'all can only drink purified water? Because I'm okay with the tap, as long as the water filtration system in the city is okay. So now y'all can only drink purified water. Y'all are so fancy. Ooh, y'all fancy. Courtney Technology Teague. Just left out, and it is a place I used to recommend. However, our waitress magically appeared 7 minutes after we sat down. I asked for sparkling water, and she rudely said, "We don't got it." We don't got it. But offered a club soda. She disappeared for another 8 minutes and never came back. Didn't get her name because she didn't tell us, but her teammate told us, kinda. Aaron, Erica, do better next time. Be kind. It doesn't cost anything but our business. So again, this is a service complaint. This is not really a food review. So again, we can't really, I really haven't heard anything just yet to say that I wouldn't go there to eat, except for the fact that it's too far outside the city. I'm not driving to Fairburn to go eat, sorry. All right, Lydia Blakely. Isn't unusual for us. That's the first sentence. Isn't unusual for us. What's the rest of the sentence? Isn't unusual for us. That's it? That's all you're going to say? We ordered some of our usual. She got 2 sentences to say that. We ordered some of our usual fried catfish bites, salmon bites, and a fried seafood entree to share. Herein lies the issue. When I say y'all swear y'all be writing, y'all swear y'all, herein lies the issue. Lydia, just get to the damn point. With the entree, of course, we ordered sides which included mac and cheese, sweet potato, muffin, and kale. No comma in sight. Upon inspection, girl, why she couldn't just say once we open up our container, upon inspection? That makes me think that you out there with a pen, a pad, and you really inspecting some stuff. Like, why you just can't say once we opened it? Now she's trying to be a poet. Okay. Okay, Langston Hughes. Without no commas. Upon inspection, after taking several bites of the kale, which we love, well, used to love, I noticed a piece of hair in the kale. Upon further inspection, I began to pull the hair out of my kale, and along with it comes more hair in the form of a hair ball. In the form of a hair ball. Instantly, I lost my appetite and told my husband I couldn't eat another bite of anything else we ordered. We informed our server of the issue and of our dissatisfaction. She sees the hair and is very apologetic. We tell her we would like our bill and to please remove all the food from the table. First of all, there wouldn't be no bill. There wouldn't be no bill. All that food, no ma'am. Instantly, I lost my, oh, wait, I'm in the next paragraph. Now, you would, wait, what? Now you who would think, I'm gonna read it again. Now you who would think, now you who would think, after an incident like this happened, the manager would come and apologize. Nope. You would think our meal would be compensated due to the gross negligence and inconvenience. Nope. And that is the problem I have. No one from the managerial staff, she reached for that one, came to the table at any point during our experience to try and make things right. So suffice it to say, oh, I turned the muscles off. So suffice it to say, if, and that's a big if, we ever return to this establishment, it will be for drinks only, made by our favorite bartender, whom we love. She really thought she wrote the hell out of that review, okay? Y'all really want me to go over there and get that microphone? Douglasville, Georgia Police Accountability. That's who wrote this review, okay? Douglasville, Georgia Police Accountability. Today was my first and last time at this establishment. I came in and there was nobody at the host stand to assist with our seating. Seven minutes later, a rude, lighter-skinned, short woman came up saying, "Y'all need something?" I'm like, that's not how you greet guests. She brushed me off. Oh, okay. How many? Look, and then they put, note, her breath smelled of alcohol and her customer service was horrible. The food was decent, but she made me feel very uncomfortable, and I won't be back to this establishment. I asked for the manager, and unfortunately, she was the manager. I asked for the manager, and unfortunately, she was the manager, I was told. But this is for the owner. Whoever the lighter-skinned lady was, supposedly the manager needs to be restrained. Needs to be retrained on how to speak. The entire time sitting, she kept walking past the table, rolling her eyes at me and my wife. I feel like I need to read that last part once again. The food was decent, but she made me feel very uncomfortable, and I won't be back to this establishment. I asked for the manager, and unfortunately, she was the manager, I was told. But this is for the owner. Whoever the lighter skinner, wait a minute, he didn't even spell this right. Whoever the lighter skinner lady was, supposedly the manager, needs to be retrained on how to speak. That was one sentence. The entire time sitting, she kept walking past the table, rolling her eyes at me and my wife. Mary Gordy spent $105 plus, and everything we ordered was tasteless and disgusting, except for the kale with the smoked turkey. Mary, did your kale have hair in it as well? Mary, did your kale have hair? Because Lydia's kale had hair in it, a hair ball. Everything was disgusting and tasteless except for the kale with the smoked turkey and seafood salad. I'm assuming this is the seafood salad down here, But niece, this is imitation crab. So that don't even count as seafood salad. Look at that. That's imitation crab right there. And look at them little tiny containers. This looks like carry-out food. Mac and cheese was swimming in the oil. Turkey wings with the white rice completely tasteless. Crab fingers, you would expect it to at least be snow crab fingers for $18. Not even enough to fit in the palm of your hand. She rolled her eyes up. Catfish was bland, no flavor at all. Side portions not enough for price paid. Lobster and shrimp rice was just blah and full of frozen vegetables. Just altogether a waste of money. A waste of money. Jasmine Ritchie. Appetizer and at least peel and eat shrimp is not full of the boo-boo clean. Wait a minute, what? Like, let me explain something to y'all. Let me sit down. You know, the challenge that I have, doing these restaurant reviews is reading this stuff. I start to get a little agitated when there's no punctuation, the sentences are run on, the subjects and verbs are not agreeing. Because then it sounds like I can't read. I'm sure it sounds to you like I can't read, but I'm really just trying my best, trying to decipher and decode what the fuck's down here on these reviews. I'm going to start over again, okay? And I'm going to read it exactly the way that it's written here. If you're following along, thank you for the super chat. If you're following along, you know that I'm not lying, okay? Appetizer and at least peel and eat shrimp is not full of the boo-boo. Clean the shrimp. My plate had butter with a side of butter. The broccolini tasted like straight butter, and the shrimp had zero taste. The bartender half filling glasses. 0 out of 10. Here's the broccolini and the peel and eat shrimp with the shit in it. Girl, all that seasoning on there. Now, I don't know what kind of seasoning that is, but that's a lot of seasoning. We're on to the next one. Brian Bush. While trying to place I'm going to read it just like it is here. While trying to place Anne was rudely assisted by phone service, hung up on. I pulled up and the young lady was in a continuous mood of disrespect. I give this new spot a no-go. This is Southwest Atlanta. Respect is a must. Did you all understand that? I'm going to read it again, just for you. While trying to place Anne was rudely assisted by phone service, hung up on. That's the first sentence. Who said no child was left behind? Because plenty were left behind. I'm not going to edit it. I'm reading it exactly as I'm going to read it again. This is exactly what it says. While trying to place Anne was rudely assisted by phone service, hung up on. And hung up on is in parentheses. Why those parentheses are there, I don't know. Karen said, I'm from New York. I understand. Well, tell us what it says, because we don't. while trying to place and was rudely assisted by phone service hung up on? Help us understand. Lucky November. That's the next person. It pains me to give no. It pains me to give any established. Oh, see, I thought it was a typo. I mean, I thought I misread it, but no, it's wrong. It pains me to give any established a negative review. But even more painful is when it's a small Black business. When we enter the restaurant, I already knew, where's the ED on entered? When we enter the restaurant, I already knew what not to order from my last visit and not being pleased with the crab cakes. Now, can I just say this? The first time I try a restaurant and the food is not good, I'm not going back. I'm not coming back a second time. If I come back a second time, you would have had to invite me for a free meal. I'm not coming. You fuck up my food and money the first time. I'm not going back. I'm not giving you a second chance. Oh, I didn't turn the microphone off. Sitting here playing.
Your Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. He says, from my last visit and not being pleased with the crab cakes, hope to have a better experience. Not hoping. Hope to have a better experience. I began by ordering the blue crab claws. Let me just say this. I'm from Maryland. We don't play about seafood up there. I don't buy crab here. I don't buy crab here. I don't order crab cakes here. I order crab cakes when I go home. I don't play down here. Here's the thing. I had some people over one time, and I had crabs shipped in from Baltimore because I don't play with the crabs down here. As I said at the top of the video, the closest water to Atlanta is 4 hours away. That's Savannah. I began by ordering the blue crab claws because I was skeptical. I added just a Caesar salad and waiting on ordering an entree. Well, he didn't say an entree. He said a entree. When the crab claws arrived, I was not shocked. What is with him with past tense? Why didn't he put the D on arrived? When the crab claws arrived, I was not shocked, past tense, but definitely unhappy with the size until I gave the size of blue crab. What? Until I gave the size of blue crabs a thought and changed my mind. I don't know. What the fuck are you trying to say right there? However, when the server returned and I was about to place my dinner order, he delivered this kid meals Caesar salad, which caused me not to take a chance on ordering in more food in this restaurant, and immediately thought I would just order wings from the carryout restaurant next door and be more happy. That was a long ass sentence. That was a long sentence. I'm gonna read it again, because see, I think some of y'all think that I'd be exaggerating. I'm gonna read it again. However, when the server returned and I was about to place my dinner order, he delivered this kid meal Caesar salad, which caused me not to take a chance on ordering in more food in this restaurant, and immediately thought I would just order wings from the carryout restaurant next door and be more happy. One sentence. That was all. What do I need to read that again? That was all one sentence. Did you see me almost? I almost needed an oxygen tank to read that. You know, The point of punctuation is so that the person can catch a breath. Y'all damn near killing people. Yeah, y'all almost suffocating people. Okay, Shawty Poo said, don't read it again. Please don't. All right, so the next sentence is, as a restaurant, oh my God. When I say this word placement, watch this. As a restaurant, how do you be stingy with lettuce? How do you be? How do you be? How do you be stingy with lettuce? The utensil tray was larger than the salad dish. This is unacceptable, and either way, they just don't know business, and you don't know grammar or English. Hmm? Hmm? Huh? Just don't know business or just are too stingy with the portions and trying to make too much money of their dishes. He was trying to say off. In any case, for $51, it was unacceptable and led me next door to WNB Factory. Yeah, first of all, you're not eating real crab. This is imitation. Let me zoom in so y'all can see this foolishness. That's that's not real crab. That's imitation crab meat. Okay? And if you see how they make imitation crab meat, you wouldn't need it anymore. Go on YouTube and look up how is imitation crab meat made. Type in the process to making imitation crab meat. It's disgusting. It's a bunch of like liquids and stuff, and then it congeals. It's a fool. All right, let me get to this next one. Oh, Kiva had a lot to say. Kiva Taylor. So we ordered a huge order from this establishment. They love the word establishment. They love the word establishment. They love that word. So we ordered a huge order from this establishment yesterday around 12 p.m. Customer service was okay up until I walked out for literally 2 seconds. The door didn't even close when I realized I left my phone on the counter after checking my huge order. I politely asked the young lady with the dreads. Note, they're not called dreads, black people. They're called locks, okay? White people started calling locks dreads because they called them dreadful. They thought they were dreadful in the way that they looked. So we are no longer calling them dreadlocks. We call them locks. Amen. Um, the lady with the dreads who took out an order about the missing phone. I don't know what she's trying to say there. She stated, I didn't see it. I don't need to steal. I asked the other you lady, she's trying to say young. I asked the other you lady who said she was the assistant manager, but found out by the actual manager that she is just a waitress. Now I'm getting frustrated because you're stealing from a customer. Like that crazy to me. Like that crazy to me. So I went to the car to track my phone, and sure enough, it was there. They had no other customers this entire time. So it had to be a staff member. I checked other establishments that's in the plaza, trash cans and all. Long story short, because I wasn't leaving without my phone, after I told them who I worked for because I wasn't trying to go there, the phone showed up in the trash can I looked in already. On top, all of this took 3 hours. So you mean to tell me your food got cold? Your food got cold looking around for this phone for 3 hours. For 3 hours, you were searching for your phone? Once I tracked my phone, I would have called the police. Then I would have called my bank and I would have disputed the charge on the food. Now that was a legitimate time to dispute the food. They didn't know where my food was. I don't know what food you're talking about. I didn't order any food. I didn't order any food. Ah! So then she says,
Your Bluetooth device
on top
is ready
of
to
all
pair.
of this, it took 3 hours. Why would you take a customer phone? I was really looking forward to this place, and that situation disappointed me. I was polite the entire time. At least they could have refunded the food, but they all still had nasty attitudes. The moral of the story is that if you visit this establishment, hide your personal belongings. If you're the owner reading this, just watch your money, and your staff might be stealing. Excuse me. On top of all that, for them to just open, the food was not fresh at all. I'm so disappointed because we heard this was a Black establishment and wanted to support it. But what we got from being customers is unheard of. I'm never going here again. I'm just like, wow. All right. Star, the person who wrote this, their name is Star. Ordered to go. So apparently they don't season the food in Baltimore. Because this place is called Baltimore. Baltimore, what, crab and seafood? So apparently they don't season the food in Baltimore. Overpriced and bland. One crab cake patty came with 3 leaves of arugula lettuce and 7 thin slithers, it's slivers, with a V, of a Granny Smith apple. No sauce. Alfredo pasta with salmon had no taste of Alfred whatsoever, not Alfredo. No taste of Alfred whatsoever. Had to add salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Cajun seasoning from home. You should have just cooked if you were going to do all that. Candied yams were textbook yams. My son liked them. Banana pudding was standard. $55 for boxed food. $65 after my tip, and I hope the cashier got that $10 instead of the cook. It's cute in there though. That's about it. I guess this is the salmon. That's the salmon. And it looks like it got mozzarella cheese. Now who puts mozzarella cheese on top of salmon? That looks awful. Brittany Gilchrist. If I could rate this restaurant 0 stars, I would. I would. Starting with the unclean shrimp and the pasta. Well, you know not to go over there to eat the shrimp. This is the second person that told you. If you want shitty shrimp, go on over there. The unfried lobster and shrimp fried rice. We ordered there for our work outing for a team member's birthday. When my coworker came to grab our food, her phone was stolen. Why y'all gotta slide y'all feet like this when y'all walk? They sure can't cook, but they sure can steal. They may not be able to cook, but they can damn sure steal. When my coworker came to grab our food, her phone was stolen, and the rude to-go cashier who proclaimed she was a manager named Janisha refused to help her in person or when our manager called. It's sad because we work for a prominent city and could have used them for a future catering opportunity.
Your Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Niece. You don't want to use them to cater anything. They can't even handle personal orders of 1 or 2 people. How are you going to have them cater for the entire office? How are you going to have them cater for the entire office? Now, these people can't cook, but they can motherfucking steal. Her name is Janesha. Janesha, if she spelled it correctly. Update. We returned to the restaurant. We returned to the restaurant because the phone was still pinging there. She used the alert where it would ring if pressed. We could see someone silencing it. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's the same girl who tried to steal this first phone. I want you to know that, right? We waited for the manager to arrive. He claimed the camera did not work and walked to the back. We called the police and waited. I waited outside. Oh, that was the top on that pot over there. That scared the shit out of me. We called the police and waited. I waited outside while my coworker waited inside, still pressing the alert button. I did not hear anything. We walked to the back of the building to see if it was by the dumpster, then walked back to the front of the building, still pressing the alert. And magically, the phone was now ringing in the trash can that I was standing next to for 30 minutes. I walked and told the manager that when the police arrived, he would show the cameras. He reluctantly agreed. The manager knew they had stolen the phone the whole time. How is your food nasty and you steal our property? That's it. We're not going there. Let me tell you how I know about this restaurant. I don't know if Nikki is still in the live, but Nikki went over there to eat. See, Nikki.
Your Bluetooth.
I might need a new battery in here because she keeps powering off.
Your Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Nikki goes to these little places like this. Nikki goes to these little hood spots. Nikki likes these little places. LaToya Lester. It took our server over 10 minutes to come when we were seated. We ask, not ED, we ask for condiments for our appetizers. And by the time we receive, what is wrong with y'all with past tense? By the time we receive, she didn't put no ED on that either. By the time we received the condiments, we were almost done with it. Food was warm. The bartender had the drinks on point. Most definitely, server didn't deserve no $30 tip. We will not be returning. They stupid. Dion, I'm saying Nikki, she goes to these little places like this. She like these little hood spots where it's problematic and the employees are problematic and you might get shot while you're in there getting your food. But the food might be good, but yeah. Najee, maybe. Najee Kwan. This was our first date and first time here. The food was horrible. The food was horrible. Everything tasted like water. The only thing we enjoyed was our alcohol beverage. And we're not big drinkers. We came in. It took forever to get us seated. They were not crowded at the time. We got to our seats. The table was wet, full of cleaner. The people that came in behind us not only sat immediately, they were serviced immediately. It took forever to get our food and drinks, and it wasn't worth it. We paid $100 for 2 appetizers and a meal and 2 drinks. The only thing we enjoyed were our drinks. Sir, you've already told us this. It was terrible. We will never return piss poor customer service. Casino Riley. The female bartender with the dreads. The usual suspects. The female bartender with the dreads and glasses greeted me upon sitting at the bar and didn't even state her name. It was my first time there, so I asked questions about the cocktail menu, and she replied, "Are you asking questions just to bother me?" Are you asking questions just to bother me? Laughing out loud, I guess she's in the wrong job field. Horrible attitude. I had a cocktail and oysters at the bar and ordered my food and requested to have it boxed to go. Upon receiving my bill, I noticed they charged me a 10% to go fee, even though I had dined at the bar. Horrible service. The food was very mid, and the lobster and shrimp fried rice wasn't even fried rice, just boiled in the bag rice with soy sauce. First and last time coming here, I highly don't recommend. Phil Smith. Oh, Phil looks like he's a white man. Let me see. Phil looks like a white man. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he's white. Okay, Phil Smith. The menu doesn't have any prices, so have plenty of money before ordering here. Went here for a date. Cost me over $100 for 2 of us. Now, depending where you go, $100 for 2 people is not a lot. It depends on where you go. I'm not talking about a little hole in the wall like this, where people stealing your cell phone. I'm talking about a really nice place. Like you could have nice appetizers, nice cocktails, nice crafted cocktails, nice entrees. I told you guys that for Greg's dinner on Friday, I paid for my food and his food. It was $173. But we had cocktails and appetizers and you know what I'm saying? So that's easy to spend. Like if you really go eat, you know what I mean? It's a difference when you go someplace and you paying $100 for some shit that's in a styrofoam box. All right, this is Ty. The food is good. The restaurant is small but cute. The service is horrible. All capital letters. It was our first time going, but I'm not even interested in going back. I can certainly find the same food at my local restaurant. I recommend sitting at the bar if you decide to go, since it seems to be moving rather quickly. Got a table for two. Waiter didn't come greet us until over 20 minutes later. You you sat there for 20 minutes before somebody came. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not even sitting for 5 minutes without putting my hand up. Excuse me, we ready. You sat for 20 minutes? Got a table for two. Waiter didn't come greet us until over 20 minutes later. A lady finally brought us water after noticing us waiting so long and apologized and kept assuring us a server would be over shortly. We kept getting apologized to. 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 That doesn't even sound right. You just put the microphone right there on your lip. You just put it on your lip. We kept getting apologized to. We kept getting apologized to. You couldn't have just said they apologized profusely, or like we kept getting apologized to, or you could have just said they were quite apologetic. Like there was no other way you could have. There was no other way you could have languaged that. You couldn't have worded that any differently. We kept getting apologized to. For the poor service the entire time, but it kept happening. We got there around 6-ish, didn't leave until 9:15. Gratuity is automatically applied. Gratuity is automatically added for checks, not 2 checks, but 4 checks. Gratuity is automatically added for checks over $100, regardless of poor service. Waited so long for everything from getting food to receiving our check to being served. We were just blowed. We were just blowed. K and G, you understand why I need a break between these? You probably won't get another restaurant review for weeks, okay? We were just blowed and ready to go and didn't bother to speak to a manager. All right, this is Kima. Very well overpriced. Customer service sucks. They charges you, they charges you, wait, what is this? They charges you a hinted price when you order. What? Take out there, hinted. They charges you a hinted, Hinded, Hinded. What is that? They charges you a hinted. Is she trying to say hidden? Is she trying to say hidden, Angelica? They charges you a hinted price, Hinded, Hinded. Hinded, hinted. They charges you a hinted price when you order takeout there. I will never, never, ever go back. Take this, keep your money, find a new restaurant. I know I will. Thomas, if I could give this place 0 stars, I would. First, I ordered my food over the phone. 1 crab cake, fried trout, and french fries. They said it would take 25 minutes to prepare. I got there 30 minutes after ordering. I tried to pay for my order and they didn't have change, so I sat there for at least 25 minutes while they ran around. So I sat there for at least 25 minutes while they ran around to surrounding businesses trying to find change. If you think I'm going to sit there for an additional 25 minutes to try to get some motherfucking change, they don't have a credit card machine. They couldn't have ran a card. They could have just gave you your cash back and you could have just did Apple Pay or they don't take credit cards, debit cards. Then once they gave me my change, they said the food wasn't ready yet. Well, while they were, if the food wasn't ready while they were running around, I would have said, you know what, don't worry about it. I would have left. You stood there and wait. First of all, you went there 30 minutes after you called. They told you it would be ready in 25 minutes. You got there 30 minutes later. They ran around for 25 minutes. So now we're at 55 minutes. That's an hour, essentially. You waited an hour, and then after they found change, they told you that the food still wasn't ready, and you... I'm convinced that some of you like abuse. Some of you are just emotional masochists. You enjoy emotional pain. You like abuse. By the time I got my food, it was an hour after I ordered. Yeah, I know, we just did the math. The fish was definitely frozen beforehand and then overcooked and dry with absolutely no seasoning. The fries were soggy and saturated with grease. The crab cake was ice cold. That's because it was still frozen. Everything was cold except the dry, overcooked fish. And on top of all that, they charged me $37 for a plate of cold trash. I will never, ever spend another dollar with this sorry excuse of an establishment. The next person goes by the black pescatarian. Those of you who don't know, pescatarian is a person who only eats fish and vegetables. They don't eat dairy. They don't eat any other meat other than fish and seafood. My son and I had a horrible experience. Perhaps the food is good, but the hostess, black woman with short blonde hair, had an attitude that destroys appetites. You better write, niece. Had an attitude that destroys appetites. After calling ahead to make sure I didn't waste my time driving over an hour. Wait a minute. You drove over an hour for this restaurant? Now, of course, you don't know that you're going to have a bad experience, but you drove. Oh, I have never drove. Wait a minute. You drove over an hour to go to a restaurant that you had never been to? And then got there and the food was horrible? Let me wipe y'all off. Y'all look a little, there we go. You've driven over an hour? What made you drive over an hour? Harzies, is that how you say it? What made you drive over an hour? Had you heard so much about it? Like, what made you drive over an hour? I've never done that. I've never been so anxious to try something like, ooh, let me drive. Come on, y'all, let's go. I want to know what made you drive an hour. Please hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. So it says, we drove over an hour and I called in advance. She didn't bother to give us a wait time or offer us to take. I was visiting people and wanted to try the restaurant, so we went, oh, okay. We drove over an hour and I called in advance. She didn't bother to give us a wait time or offer us the takeout option. We left and on the way out, the security recommended another restaurant. The security guard suggested another restaurant that was nearby. Wait a minute, I skipped the sentence. Hold on, let me go back. Black woman with the short blonde hair had a bad attitude that destroys appetites. After calling ahead to make sure I didn't waste my time driving over an hour, she informed us that they were too busy to accommodate us. Too busy to accommodate us. When I told it was my son's birthday, we drove over an hour and I called in advance. She didn't bother to give us a wait time or offer us the takeout option. We left and on the way out, the security recommended another restaurant, apologized and told my son happy birthday. I decided I would order to go, so I went back inside. Now, security told you to go on to another restaurant. The universe, God was trying to save you, niece. God had worked through the security and said, go try this other restaurant. She's going to go back inside. So I went back inside and the person in front of me told me she just ordered to go and I can go in front of her. The hostess, same lady, told me she wasn't taking my order. I had to look at her hard because at this point, she must know me from somewhere. Her attitude felt personal, shaking my head. We left and I decided to look on Uber Eats. That's what you should have done before you drove over an hour. You could have saved gas and time, energy, effort. Of course, I could order pickup via Uber Eats. You that desperate to eat at this place? Now, this is the third time that the universe is trying to intercede. You that desperate to eat at this place, for real? Ma'am, if you're reading this, I did not sleep with your boyfriend. It wasn't me. Laughing out loud. Anyway, I'm not going back here. Well, you already went twice, and I wouldn't recommend it. Thank God I'm a chef and can cook at home. You know what? Good night, y'all. You all have an amazing night. Thank you for being here to listen to the restaurant reviews. Don't forget, on June 28th, that's in 20 days, we're going to do a giveaway, a homeless giveaway. So if you want to send something to the P.O. box, it's scrolling at the bottom down here. If you want to give away something, we're doing 100 backpacks that we're going to give away. If you want to insert something in there, you're welcome to send something to the P.O. box. Just send 100 so that we can have enough to go in each bag. You can send something to the Cash App or to the Zelle if you'd like, and put in the memo, this is for the homeless giveaway. All right, because if you don't put that in there, it's for me. Amen. Have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, and brush your tongue. I'll see you soon. Bye.